Now wrap your hands around, like you were gonna wrap your elbows around. That's it. Good. Now try to straighten your leg a little bit. Can you straighten your legs a little bit? Try to reach them back. Yeah, nice. Do you feel that in your shoulders? And it almost gets in your hips. If you're in the right place, see how she's stretching in her hips? She'll get it in her shoulders and her hips at the same time. Super nice, honey. My name is Alixa Sutton, and I teach contortion and flexibility, not just for contortionists, but for all different sports, gymnastics and cheerleading and dance, ice skating as well. Specifically, we're here at Dance Extensions to work with their contortionists and teach them some new styles, new techniques, and moves.
My name is Betsy Shuttleworth. I am the director, co-director, Dawn Cherney is in the other room. We do everything here, but one thing that sets us apart is the contortion program. Having a ballet background since I was 9, I was very intrigued with it. It was something different. It was up another level. So I started researching. I found Skavon Schoening, who's from Germany. She owns Showbiz Productions, and she has kind of guided me to where I am now as far as connections and learning, and she taught me how to be a good trainer and a safe trainer and to do things, injury prevention, and that's how I met Alixa. I met her at International Contortion Convention in 2003.
Good, relax. Yeah, good. All the contortion I teach is based on non-invasive stretching, so it's really about injury prevention, being able to do this from a safe perspective so that the kids can progress and enjoy themselves, but without stress on the bodies, because of course you see this contortion and it's very frightening looking when you don't know anything about it. So to help take this in really good progression so that they can achieve a high level and feel good about what they're doing. Good. You doing it in your hips, Sarah? Nice. Try sitting down a little deeper. Yeah, they feel that stuck hip part. Good. Nice upper back.
We have about 57 girls here that train in contortion, so we have everything from beginners to advanced students here. And America's Got Talent had Victoria Jacoby on a couple years ago. She was a Pink Panther, and she was on for quite a few sessions, and then she was on Paul Abdul's show last year. She drove all the way from New Jersey to come down here to take Alixa's class.
It's really important for contortion how you access your hips, okay? If you're doing this, using your back instead of using your hip line, instead of this kind of flexibility, you're going to be putting too much stress on your middle back. One of the myths is that people always think that you have to be naturally flexible. And I actually find that the people who don't have natural flexibility tend to make better contortionists because they have to work harder to get that, to achieve that level. And so they have a little more focus and a little more interest in achieving that. And I specialize in helping those type of contortionists who need to really progress and work each level. Okay, from this position, if I ask her, sit your butt down on your head. If I ask her to do snake, lift your feet. No, bend your knees. Bend your knees. Before 6 years old, it's not as good because the joints haven't formed yet. So you want to start usually a little later, around 6. But you can start older. I've worked with girls who've started 12, 13, and they've done really well. But it's also interesting because you can use the same type of flexibility training, but very moderate for older adults as well to help decrease the risk of arthritis. And so do that as well too. They've done a lot of very interesting studies on that, and I incorporate those studies as well. Don't cheat. Okay, now it's very dangerous. If you're in this position, it feels really intense. Don't bend your knee to push it down, because as soon as you've bent it, you've tightened up the muscle to bend it, and then you try to push it down into a flexed position, you can tear a muscle. Okay, so be really careful that if it feels too much, just sit up a little straighter. Don't lean forward so much.
Where we are now is I feel like we've kind of reached a plateau. The flexibility's there. Now we need some strength. Now we need just some fine tuning, and I'm sure there's so much more I need to learn.
Now, if you want a little magic trick, you can take your back foot, don't do it yet. I'm going to check your position first. Gently pull it towards your leg. Then when you let go, you feel that relaxation. Did you feel how much easier that was? And then you can go a little deeper. Okay. I did gymnastics before, rhythmic gymnastics, and I kept seeing people get injured. And when I had my kids in competition, I kept seeing kids who get injured from the sport, and I thought there has to be a better way to do this without the injuries happening. And so that's when I started studying more physiotherapy and from doctor's point of view and the scientific of how the body works. and putting that all together with traditional training forms and finding better alternatives. Then I started getting into circus and contortion, and because I was very flexible, they encouraged me to go into contortion. So I did aerial contortion, and then I went to swinging trapeze. I worked as a swinging trapeze soloist.
When she said she'd come, I was just thrilled because I really look up to her. She's pretty amazing.